CSS, Bootstrap, GitHub, and two of us will be taking you in this program. So I and the other instructor will be taking you. In today's class, we are starting with HTML. But before then, you need to install some things on your device. These are the things you need to install. Firstly, go to your website, go to a browser, a web browser like this, download Visual Studio Code. Just Google Visual Studio Code, download. Visual Studio Code, download. So you install the one for your operating system. After downloading, you install the one for your operating system. So that's the first thing you need for this stage. What we need VS Code for is that it's where we're going to be writing our codes. It's a code editor where you write your codes. Then you view it on a web browser. Another thing you need for this stage is Git. Google Git download. This will not be used now. It will be used close to the end of the program. End of this stage, not now anyway. But it's good you download and install it right from now. Or it's also possible that I'll be teaching you both times simultaneously, Git and HTML. So you download Git, you install it on your device. Then you go to this website, github.com. github.com. You go there and register there. So if you're able to do this, I think we are good to go. You can start with that. You download Visual Studio Code, you download Git, and you register on github.com. Don't worry, as time goes on, I'm going to explain why you need github.com and what to use it for. Now, having said that, if you open your VS Code, Visual Studio Code is also called VS Code. If you open your VS Code, initially it will be empty. Although, at my own end, it's not going to be empty because I've been using it before now. Just search for VS Code on your device. That's Visual Studio Code. Open it. So it will be empty. If it's empty, you can see something somewhere called Open Folder. Open Folder. So let's discuss why you want to open a folder and which folder should you open. When you are when you are working, you want Visual Studio Code to specifically open a folder. Reason being that on your device you have many folders, right? Like you have folders for images, folders for videos, folders for a lot of things, maybe for schoolwork, for workplace, and a lot of other things. But then you will need you are working on a particular folder. Let's say you are building a school application, let's say, or you are working on an e-commerce app, right? So at that moment, when you say open folder, you want to open that folder on VS Code. What you are telling Visual Studio Code is that at this moment, this is what I am working on. So everything related to the e-commerce app will be opened in VS Code at that moment, because all files that you need in your e-commerce app, they will be together. I don't know if you are getting me. All files that you need in your e-commerce app, they will be together. So when you say open folder, you want to open the folder that you want to work on. So to start with, before you can open the folder, you need to first create the folder. So I'll go to my documents. I'll create a folder for our classes. I can call it new HTML class. So I'll create a folder called new HTML class. And then here's the folder. Inside this folder, I'll create the first project to work on. I'll say I can call this one first class. Do you get it?
Yes.
So inside my documents, I created a folder called new HTML class. inside that new HTML class, I created a folder called first class. So everything we are going to be doing today will be inside this first class. So when I go to my VS Code, Visual Studio Code, I want to open this first class in my VS Code. What I'm telling VS Code is that this is the folder of interest. So open folder. So to tell you that okay, where is the folder located is in documents. Inside document, I have new HTML class, new HTML class. Inside it, I have first class. So I will select this, select folder. So the folder now is opened in VS Code. That's why you have first class. Yeah. Any questions so far?
No questions.
Alright. Now, next is you want to start creating files inside it. And with every file, let me create a file. You click on this one to create a file. It will create a file inside our first class. If you click on the second one, it means you want to create a folder inside our first class. If I select this, that means I want to create a folder inside our first class. If I select this, that means I want to create a file inside this first class. You can create any file of your choice. But a file has two things, the base name and the extension. Like a file name has two things, a base name and extension. Let's assume I have let's deal with images. Let's talk about images. If I have an image, let's say the name of the image is profile pics. You know, it will end with something like .jpg or .jpeg or .png, right? Those are common images extension. So let's assume it's profile picture. You will see something like profile picture.jpg. The JPG is the extension. And that is very important because it is the JPG that tells your operating system that this is an image. Now, here is what I mean. If I send a picture to you on WhatsApp and you try to open it, you will notice that your device, your phone, will tell you or will suggest picture opening application. Do you get it? Maybe like gallery, maybe it's going to suggest software applications that are meant for pictures whenever I send a picture to you on WhatsApp. If I send a PDF to you on WhatsApp, your device will suggest PDF opening software or application. This means that your operating system automatically checks the extension, and with the extension is able to know how to open that file. Do you get it?
Yes.
So if it sees that it ends with .jpg, it ends with .png, it ends with Adeyemi, you are welcome. Welcome to class. So if it sees that it ends with .jpg, it ends with yeah, you are welcome. Okay, so if it sees that it ends with .jpg, .png, .jpeg, it automatically knows that this is a picture. So in the same vein also, whenever we want to create a file, we want to write our first code, our first set of codes. Whenever you want to do it, you need to end it with .html. What that tells your browser or your operating system is that this is a web application. This is a web application or a web page. Yeah. So you can call it any name. I can call it my name, taye.html. So it must end with .html. Now next is, what is the meaning of HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. In other words, it is used to create the layouts of your websites. That is what you want to learn now. How do you create the layout of your web page? That is what you use HTML for. Any questions so far? Let me quickly recap. We downloaded Visual Studio Code and we are using it to write our codes. Inside it, we open it in folder. Then we create a file. We can call it any name, but it must end with .html. That is to tell that it's a web page. Now, the full meaning of HTML is...
we lost. We couldn't hear you at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, for about 2 minutes.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
So I don't think we saw when you created this Taye.html. I
Hang
didn't see that.
on, let me delete it. So this is where I think this is where we stopped. So I was trying to explain that when I send a picture to you on WhatsApp and you download it, after downloading it, you notice that your phone will suggest picture viewing applications, right? It will suggest picture viewing app. If I send a file to you on WhatsApp or anywhere, let's say via mail or anything, once you download it, your device will suggest PDF viewing applications also. If it was to be, if I sent a PDF, so how is he able to know those software to suggest? Is because of the extension. What happens is that if I send a picture to you, it checks the extension. If it sees that the extension is JPG, JPEG, PNG, it knows that, oh, this is a picture. Do you understand it? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, alright. So, in the same sense also, whenever we are creating a web page, we need to put the extension to be .html. That tells our operating system that this is a web page. Do you get it?
Yes.
Alright. So to create a file, this first one is to create a file. This second one is to create a folder. So I'll click on the first one here. I'll give it a name. It can be any name, and I decide to give it my name .html. Major thing is it must end with .html. Now we can write our codes here. We can write HTML codes inside this file. Now, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext. Language. This is the full meaning of HTML. It is used to create the layout of a web page. Any questions so far?
I don't have any questions.
So, now, if you have this, well, I need you to install something called Live Server in your Visual Studio Code before we move forward. After you open your Visual Studio Code, it has an extension marketplace. That is where you can get extensions. Do you see this place? These extensions. Can we see it? That has 3 squares and yeah, this place. Click on it. Search for Live Server. Live Server. Live Server. Select this. Install it. I have it installed already, right? I have it installed already. So you install it in your Visual Studio Code. So whatever you install in your marketplace will be inside your VS Code. What we need it for is that it makes it easy for us to open our web page on the browser. It makes it easy for us. So after you've installed it, we can continue now. So you can close the live server. Just close this. The extension marketplace. Just close this, and I can click on this to close this part also. Now let's proceed. I come again. You want to install Live Server. Live Server makes it easy to load your web page on the browser. So you come here, you search for Live Server. You install the one by Weekday. Then after installing it, then you can close it, install. When you are done with installation, immediately you will see uninstall. That means you've successfully installed it. Then you can close it now. Then you can close this marketplace also. Just click this place. So I've written some codes. If I now can you see go live at the bottom? Can you see this go live?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now when you click on it, it will open it on the browser. That is the essence of the live server. Without the live server, you won't see this go live. Esther, you are welcome to class. Okay, so now when you click on this go live, it will open it on the web page, on the browser, right? And that's the reason for the live server. Without that live server, you're not going to see this go live. Instead, if you don't have that, it will be the process of opening it to be a bit longer. It will be a bit longer. Now, if you add anything here, let's assume I decide to add hello, how are you doing? Hello, how are you doing? If I decide to add this, at your own end, you will notice a white circle here. If you see a white circle on a file that you just edited, that means the file is not saved. That is, the changes you just added is yet to be saved. But once you press Ctrl S means save. Once you press Ctrl S, it becomes these times like this. That means it has been saved. Do you get it?
Yes.
Alright. If you make any changes again, you will see the white circle again. But if you press Ctrl S, it becomes saved. But you can activate autosave. That means you don't need to be pressing Ctrl S to save it. If you activate autosave, I think autosave is somewhere down here. Settings, I think it should be somewhere here. I'm coming. Autosave should be here. Is it here? No. Autosave should be here. Is it this place? I'm coming. Let's go to the marketplace and see. Autosave. You can install this, but the one is in VS Code already. But maybe the other instructor will take you. Right. Okay, settings. Yeah, I think it should be somewhere. Settings. Yeah, search for autosave. Autosave. Yeah, autosave. After searching for autosave, I think I'm coming. Control autosave of editors that happens after delay. Now, if you put it off, it will be off. You can set it to after delay and you save it. Once you save it, if you make changes now, I think it should be saved now. I think so. I will also speak with the instructor, the other instructor, to take you to that part, autosave. Autosave is just that I don't want you to keep pressing Ctrl S with each changes, right? That is, if you don't want to. Once you make any changes, it will automatically save. If you observe something that once I type anything, you are not seeing any white cycle here. And that's because the autosave is on at my end. It's been activated. Right. I can't really remember the exact place, the exact changes I made that made that possible. So now let's go back to today's class. Once I've made changes, you click on Go Live. If it is saved, you will see the changes on the browser. So click on Go Live. Can you see the content? As I just saw it, what I wrote in VS Code, can you see it on the screen?
Yes.
Any questions so far?
No questions.
Alright. Let's add more things. Now, if I add more things, let's say today is Wednesday. Now, ordinarily, this live server should pick it up. It should. In fact, you don't need to refresh this page. You don't need to, ordinarily. But at the moment, it's not doing that. And that's because there are some things we are yet to do that we ought to have done. Now, but for now, if you want your page to pick it up, just refresh this page. Refresh, Ctrl R should refresh. Or you click on this. Once you click on this, it will refresh the page. So you can see the new text added. But again, we are going to the part whereby once you add any changes and you save it, your browser should automatically pick it up. That's part of the work of the live server. But it expects some things that is yet to see. That's just if you notice something, it's saying, I don't know if you notice a pop-up here, something like head and body, that there's no head, there's no body. Let's say good evening. I want wanted to bring that pop-up back up. Good evening. Live reload is not possible without the head or body tag. So we discuss this. In fact, that's the next thing we are discussing. I want to go into something called tag. This tag. What's the meaning of tags in HTML? Tags are commands that HTML understands, or that the browser understands. They are commands. So if you want to give any command, that command will be in tags. I like to liken HTML to your Microsoft Word. In Microsoft Word, if I have some text and I want that text to be bold, what do? I will just highlight like this and I will click on B, right?
Right.
It becomes bold. But in HTML, you don't have such privilege. Like there's no B, there's no I, there's no U that you can click on to make it bold. Instead, we have tags that we call upon. These tags, we make these things do whatever we want them to do. So if we want this to be bold, we use the B tag. Now, what is a tag? A tag is like a way to give commands or a layout, part of the layout, part of the way you structure the content of your page, and you give command to texts. And this is how to write a tag. If you have a tag, if you want to write a tag, you put this less than symbol, followed by the name of the tag. If it is bold, you use B tag. That's why you have B. Then you put this. This is the opening tag. Do you get it? This is a tag called B. This is like you selecting the B in Microsoft Word. Now, if I want text to be bold, let's assume I only want this "how are you doing" to be bold. That means I will go to the beginning of this "how are you doing." I will say B. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Alright. So go to the beginning, you say B. B means bold. But then when we check it on the browser, you observe that from "how are you doing" to the end, everything will be bold. Let's refresh. How are you doing? Today is Wednesday. Good evening. From beginning, like from where you have that B, but instead of it to end here, it is ending at this place. In fact, whatever you had now will become bold. Everything, whatever you, even if you had a new text, let's say my name is Aye Abitaku. Refresh the page, it becomes bold. You don't want that to happen. I only want it to end at doing. I don't want it to affect the rest. What do? You close it. You close it. That brings us to something called opening tag, closing tag. This means you are opening it. That is the beginning, where I want it to start from. Now, wherever you want to end it, you add the closing tag. The opening tag and the closing tag, they look similar. Just that the closing tag has a backward slash. Just like before, but now you add a backward slash to it, B. It looks like this, but with a backward slash. When the browser sees this, it's not that, oh, you want to close this B, that is end here. Do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. So when you go to the browser and refresh the page, remember I said for now, auto update is not yet activated. But for now, once you refresh the page, you will see the changes. Any questions so far?
I don't have any question.
Alright. Adeyemi,
Yes, I follow you, sir.
Esther, okay, let's continue. So this is one tag. Let's assume I want this Wednesday to be italicized. What do you think the tag will be? Hello?
Honestly, I don't know.
Huh? Just guess. What do you think it will be? If bold is B, what do you think? Yes, I will be to italicize it. So you come here, you say hi, like this. You open it. Then because I only want it to affect Wednesday, meaning that I need to close it. Yeah, do you get it?
Yes.
Alright. So when I get to the browser and I refresh, I will notice that the Wednesday has been italicized. Now, one question for you. I want to underline Taye Abidakun. How do I go about it? What do you think I'll do?
You use the correct tag.
Okay, what do you think the tag will be to underline? What do you think it will be?
You.
Good, you. So where do I put it?
Just Taye Abidakun, right?
Yes, just Taye Abidakun. Yes.
So you open the tag before Taye
Okay, good.
and you close the tag after Abidakun.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this is it. When I go to the browser and I refresh, you have it underlined. You can see that it's so simple. So simple. In fact, these tags are tags that you can easily guess that, oh, most likely it is this. Most likely it is this. Any question before we move on now? Now let's look at the common mistakes people make while writing tags. Sometimes you might mistakenly use two opening tags instead of closing tag. That means, let's assume I mistakenly wrote another B tag. Instead of closing this, meaning I put another opening tag. That means all the text here will still be bold. All the text from here to the end will be bold because I didn't close it. I didn't tell it to stop. So that's a common mistake. Refresh the page. You can see everything now is bold. Or people might mistakenly use two closing tags instead of opening tag. Let's assume. Oops. Two closing tags here. This is a common mistake also. It's not italicized because you didn't open it. So it's not italicized. It's not italicized. So that's a common mistake. Now, let's look at this interesting thing together. Imagine this scenario, I will delete this. Oops. Okay, let's delete this also. This is what I want to do. I want my name is Taye Abidakun to be bold. This whole line to be bold. But then I only want to underline this part. I can make it. The whole line to be bold, but I only want to underline this part. To do that, since I want the whole line to be bold, my B will start here and it will end here, so that the whole line can be bold. But I only want to underline this. That means the U will be here. Now, look at this mistake. It is possible for me to close the U here. It is possible. That means I want Taye Abidakun to be italicized, but this is a mistake. While it's working, it's a wrong way of doing it. When you open a tag, and that tag has another tag inside of it, that is, you open another tag inside of it, you need to close the inner tag first before the outer one. Do you get it? This is it.
Yes.
Okay, this is it. Last open, first close. The tag that you open last will be the first that you close. So when you open a tag and you open another tag inside of it, you need to close that inner tag before the outer tag. That means you need to close this U before closing this B. So that means the whole of this U must be inside this B. There should not be overlapping. You should not have since this B, like the whole of B must wrap the whole of U. That's the whole idea. If you have a tag and that tag has a child, you have to close that child before the parent. Any question? Do we get the explanation? Who doesn't understand? Okay. For the next 15 minutes or so, let's look at small tags. Now, why we've been able to write some tags? We have some specific tags that are compulsory on all pages. And a shortcut to generate them is this. But before we go into the shortcuts, I will first explain that. You see, when you want to write a web page, the first tag that you must is not really a tag anyway. It's, should I call it a decorator or something? It's not a tag per se. It is the doc type. This time. It is a doc type. What this tells the page is that when it is loaded on the browser, this tells the page that this is an HTML5 page. We have different versions of HTML. This doc type signifies to the browser that the content of this page is HTML5. Do you get it? It must be at the beginning. Others can now follow, but it is at the beginning. It's not actually a tag. It's not a tag. Doc type HTML tells the browser that this is HTML5. It is a must. You have it. Now, with that now, the browser will now know that whatever it says there should be HTML5 codes, because HTML4 and HTML5, they have different, or should I say their syntax are not the same also. They have some variations in syntax. But what you're going to be learning will be HTML5, not HTML4. Like it's an advancement. Like the latest one is HTML5, and that is HTML5, and that is what you are learning now. So that whenever you are building a page, this must be the beginning. Afterwards, you open HTML tag. All your codes must be inside this HTML tag. This is telling the browser this is HTML code. Remember, this is for HTML5, but this is for HTML, whether 4 or 5, any HTML you are using, you do this. This is HTML code. So all the codes you're going to be writing should be within this place. Please, are we still following?
Yes.
This tells the browser this is the beginning of HTML and this is the end of HTML, and everything you're going to be writing will be here. Next thing is this. This HTML, it's like your whole web page. Let's refresh this. It's like your whole web page. Your whole web page has two parts. We have the head and the body. The head holds the information about your page, while the body holds the contents of your page. Like the head is like metadata, like description of what your page is about. A good example is, I think I wrote a book on HTML. I will send the link to you so you can download it. It's a free ebook. You can download it and read actually. So the example I used in that book is this. It's like you decide to buy a bottled water. What you are buying is actually the water inside, right? But then it has stickers around it. The stickers around it gives you information about the water inside. In fact, if there's a problem with the sticker, you know that you are not reading the water inside of it. The sticker holds the company's information, maybe the name of the company, the NAFDAC registration number, information about the water that you have inside of it, right? So that is what the head is like. It's like a metadata, like a description of what you have inside of your bottle, inside of your page. While the body is the main content. In this case now, in the case of our bottled water, the body will be the water inside the bottle. Do you understand it?
Yeah.
Alright. So let's split our page into two. Head and body. So whatever you put here, hello world, that is mainly meant for the page. That's what the users are meant to see. Whatever you put here is for description. Most times they are not for the users to see. most times. They're not for the users to see. They are for things like search engine. You know, when you search something, how is it able to know where it's the page that has that content? That is what you do part of them inside this head. For instance, if I upload my website online, and let's say my website is on animals, let's say it's on animals, and someone search for animals, how is he able to know that it is to fetch my website to that person? That you will do part of that inside the head. Now, inside this head, we have a tag called title. The title, that is the title of your page. Notice this place before adding this title. Look at this. So I'll come here and add a title. The title is the title of my page. Let's say my page is first class. This is the title of my page. So when I refresh the page now, you can see it has changed to first class. It has changed to first class. In fact, at this point, I no longer need to refresh. This live server now is now automatically dictating my changes. The other time you saw that it said you didn't have a head and body tag. Now we have head and we have body. And that is why it can now automatically dictate any change I make to my file. When I go to the browser, I will automatically see the I don't need to refresh it myself. That is the rest of the live server. Questions before we move forward? Okay.
No question.
Alright. Now, you see this doc type head body, there's a shortcut to it. And in fact, the shortcut we also had some other metadata that you're going to look at later. There's a shortcut to it. You don't need to type all of these things yourself, because like I said, they are things that you need in virtually all pages. Not even virtually all web pages. You need the head, you need the body, you need the doc type. Doc type shows it is HTML4. The HTML tag means that this is an HTML page. The head means that this is the meta. This is where I put the metadata of my page. The body means that this is where I put the main content of my page. You need them in all pages. So the shortcut is this. You press Shift 1. You know the exclamation mark, like you want to display exclamation mark. This Shift 1 on your keyboard. It will give you this exclamation. Then you press Enter. Again. Shift 1. It's giving you this. Then you press Enter. So we have this. Yeah. This is the head. The body is empty. This is the title that we saw the other time. So I can change the title to the one I want. First class. So there's nothing on this page yet. So now I can start putting the content. We've used the B tag. IMDb tag. We've used the I tag. IMDb I tag. We've used the U tag. This is the U tag. This is the U tag. Okay. So we have this things. Let's move forward and look at some other tags together. So what you're going to be learning this at this stage is tags. Other tags that you're going to make use of. See, there are a lot of tags. We are not going to consider all of them. What we will do is that we consider a good number of them, a majority of them, or a good number of them. And then, of course, especially those commonly used ones, those ones that you're going to be needing a lot over and over again, we're going to consider that. Then, as you do more, you will learn about other tags. And in fact, as at this moment, I still learn new tags. So there are lots of things to learn. And if you want to teach you tags alone, we may end up using maybe 6 months, 9 months teaching you tags alone. So Instead of that, it will teach you the commonly used one that you're going to be able to use to build almost anything that you want. Right. Let's move on. We want to look at something called heading tags. Heading tags. Now, when you have a page and that page has an heading, let's say heading like more like what this page is about, right? That is what the heading tag is. Let's say you want to write composition about yourself, and I want to say my name is Taye. I am a programmer. I love to code. But I want to state that this is the content of this page is composition about myself. That is where heading comes in. So we have 6 heading tags that you can use, that you're allowed to use. We have H1, we have H2, we have H3, we have H4, we have H5, we have H6. I come again. We have H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. There is no H7. So let's look at the H1 together. H1. Main heading. You can see that it's big and it is bold. This is used to signify that this is the main heading of my page, like the major heading, what that page is primarily about. So in the ebook, I wrote that let's assume you want to write about animals. This will be something like this: animals. That is, this page is primarily about animals. Oftentimes, this H1 and this title will be the same most times, because the title is like what the page is also about. Animals. But you see, this title, it works a lot. This is it. Let's say I go to let's say search for social media, or let's say backs. Let's look at the pages it's refreshed for you. Can you see this here? Hello? So you see this here, this trendy and fashionable bags for women. That is the title of that page. Do we get it? That is the title of that page. If I go to that page now, look at this. Can you see it at the top here?
Yeah.
It's also the same as what you can see here. Like, if I change this to goats, you will see goats here. So whatever you have, whatever the title of that page is, that is what Google indexing, Google search engine, that is what it uses to fetch the content of that page. So the title, I would say it takes precedence over this, over the H1. The H1 tells us that, oh, this is what this page is primarily about. But the title is also used by search engines to search your page, to search for your page. Let's move on. Any question before we proceed? So we have H2 tag. H2 tag is a subheading under H1. Subheading under H1. So let's say under animals, I want to talk about domestic animals. So this will be H2. Let's say under animals, this page is about animals. Then under H2, I can say this part is about domestic animals. So H2 means that this is a subheading under H1. In my page, I want to talk about domestic animals and wild animals. So what tag do you think the wild animals will be? Hello? Hello? Would that be H3? Would that be H1? Would that be H2?
H3.
Okay, thank you so much. Esther, Adeyemi, we are not talking.
I can't even.
Adeyemi has been
I
the
can't
only
hear
one
very well.
talking. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you so much.
I can't.
Okay, so what I said is this. I want to create domestic animals. What do you think the tag will be?
Okay, is it?
Hmm?
Are you asking that? Since that we are writing code regarding to animal, and if you subtitle it. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Is it subtitle you are asking about?
Well, what will the tag be?
H2.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now, okay. Oh, I've seen Esther's message on the group. Okay. Let's continue. Now, this domestic animal and wild animal, they have the same level of importance to animals. So this will also be H2. I don't mean, do you guess it?
Yes, I do.
Alright. Let's assume that we want to create a subheading under wild animals or under domestic animals, and that would be H3. But because the two of them, they are like direct subheadings of, because they are direct subheadings of animals, for that reason, we make them to be H2. That shows that the two of them are direct children of animals. So I can say this is for wild animals. Now let's now assume under wild animals we want to split it into two, maybe cat family, dog family. Then cat family can now be H3. So this is for cat family. Then dog family also, these are the children of wild animals. So that can be H3 dog family. This is for dog family. Let's move on. Under the cat family, let's say I want to talk about the lions. Let's say lions, tiger, what's it called? Leopard. So you can have H for lions. So I can talk about lions now. Lions are the children of, like they are, in this case now, they are the children of cat family. So I can say this section is for lion. Then I want to talk about leopard. So this section is for leopard. And I don't like that. If you have others that want to talk about tiger, it will also be H4 because they are the children of cats family. So let's check it. Let's check that on the browser. Animals H1, these two they are H2, these two they are H3, these two they are H4. If under leopard, if you still want to talk about the children of leopard, or you want to get subsection under leopard, that would be H5. Under that children, you still want to talk about a section, that's the last one is H6. Please, I need to say this. Do you notice that from H1 at least to H4 that we've looked at, they are all bold? Do you observe?
Yeah.
Now, and the B tag also is to make things bold. Now, some people now, whenever they want to make text bold, they now make use of H tags. That's a wrong approach. The H1 to H6, they are mainly meant for, they are solely meant for headings and subheadings, just to signify that this is a heading, this is subheading, and that is what you should use them for. No more, no less. Headings and subheadings. H1 to H6. So there are other tags, but my partner will continue from here. So let's have a quick revision of what we've done today. We installed VS Code. I asked you to register on github.com. I asked you to install Git. For now, we are not making use of them. Then I asked you to come here, install live server. Right. Yes? Adeyemi?
Regarding to that each one and vote, can we? Is there any way we can identify on the browser, or we can only identify on the code?
I don't get.
I mean, what you have said that some people mistakenly use code instead of adding tags.
Yes.
The question is now that on the browser, is there any way we can know this is the boot and this is a H1?
Okay. Yes, you can. You can. One way is this. Let's say hello. Let's say what? I want this hello to be bold. I can type it in B. Now, notice that the hello and the word, they will be together on the same line. If I change it to even H6, which is the least tag, it will take this word and move it to the next line. Do you observe?
Yes, sir.
The H1 to H6, they do not share their lines with others. They don't. That's one. Then, but the reason I ask you not to use it is not really because of you, right? It's because of search engines. Search engines. When when you use the right tag, it helps indexing. It helps to know that, oh, this is what this page is about. This is what it's not about. It's primarily for search engines and the likes and web crawlers. Any other question? Okay. So you download Live Server, then you start writing your codes. Then we talked about tags. We have closing tags and opening tags. Closing tag is where it starts from. Opening tag is where it starts from. Closing tag is where it ends. Whatever you want that to apply to will be within the opening and the closing tag. Then we look at some tags. We have the B tag, we have the I tag, we have the U tag, we have the H1 to H6, and that is okay. We have the title tag also, which will be inside the head. Then we have the body, which is the main content of our page. Right. Now we have many other tags that we're going to look at. We even have self-closing tags that we'll look at later. That is, these are tags that you don't close, you only open them. There are few of them in number, but they are important to know. Right. So on Saturday, my partner will continue from here. Assignments before we go. Please, my assignments are very important. Create a page to write composition about yourself. Now, have headings. The title will be your name. The H1 also should be your name. Then, under it, you can have a subheading for maybe academics, maybe your academic journey or schooling. Let me just use schooling. Then you can have another one for work. Under schooling, you can have maybe primary education, secondary education, tertiary education. You can write briefly on them. So please write a brief composition about yourself. You can, when you are done, you can snap it and send it to my DM, or you upload it and send it to this place, techinuk@gmail.com. So you can send it. Yeah, In the course of the training, I will teach you how you can send it online, how you can upload it online easily. But for now, let's see, make do with this. Thank you for coming. Enjoy your night.